It's TBR time again for the second time this week. So, hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Gemma and today I'm going to be doing my January TBR. Yes, I am aware I already put one TBR out earlier this week, my past and future readathon TBR. If you're unfamiliar, I will link it below, both the announcement and the TBR, which is a readathon that I am hosting in January. But we still want to be doing this, right? And I want to tell you about buddy reads and book clubs and the like. So that's what we're going to do today. So as always, before we get into the books I'm adding to January's TBR, let's have a look at how we did last month. So we had a book recommended by Jack at Spread Book Joy, and Jack recommended to me Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty, which is the third and final book in the David trilogy that I've been meaning to get to forever. I have started it. It's a big boy. It's like 700 pages long. I'm about 150 pages in. That won't be finished by the end of the month, but I will continue it into January, and I'm very much enjoying it. So that one I did. Yay! 1 out of 4. Then the specific book that I chose was The Kite Runner by Khaled, and I have read that at last. I hear you. It's been on about 7,000 TBRs. It actually got read in December. Who am I? I'm like someone who reads their TBR. But just to balance that, the next one was to read a feminist book. I chose Strong Female Character by Fern, Brady, and I have not read that. Not even started it. Not even a little bit. Even though I have it here from the library. Have I read it? No. Am I likely to get to it anytime soon? Again, no. And the final prompt was to read a book that is on Scribd, or Everand as it is now. And I picked 15 Wild Decembers. I can't remember the name of the author, but I DNF'd that. I started it and it was just fine, and I didn't want fine. I wanted good. So I DNF'd that. So really that's 3 out of 4. So the only one I need to put back in the jar is the feminist one. So yeah, I think that's not bad. That's not a bad effort for me for December. I mean, really, 50% is good on this channel if you're new. So let's pick some new ones. So each of these colours represents something. I can never remember exactly what it represents. So we just pick one of each and just wing it. Because why wouldn't you wing it? Okay, so the first one is to pick a book recommended by Charlie at Charlie Brooke Reads. So I will have a look at her. I don't think she's had a Best Book of the Year video come out yet, but I know she did one mid-year, so I'll check what's on there and pick one from there. Okay, so I've just checked out Charlie's Best Books of the Year so far that she posted in the summer, and the book that I've chosen is Someday Maybe by Onyi Nwabineli. And this is a book about grief. A woman loses her husband, I think at the beginning of the book, and it's about her sort of coming to terms with that, the reasons behind that, and sort of the strength that you get from families. I think it's supposed to be pretty dark and pretty affecting, so that sounds definitely like a Gemma book. And generally, if Charlie loves a book, that is pretty good indication that I will also love it. So that's the one I'm going to pick for my Charlie pick. Then purple. Okay, so this is you really can't read this very well, can you? A kid pick. So I will get my kids to pick one and I will let you know what they pick. Usually what I do is I get my eldest to pick like 3, and then my youngest picks from there. So that's what I'll do again. Okay, so I've just asked Sam, my eldest, to pick me 3 books off of that shelf. I'll show you what he picks, and then I'll go and ask Charlie, the little one, to pick one of those 3. He's picking from the bookshelf over there. Well, oh, good God. Okay, so we've got a real mix here. So we've got Bitter by Akwaeke Emeze, which I think is actually a sequel, and I haven't read the first one. So, but I think
Can you go pick a different one?
yeah, can you pick a different one? while he's doing that, he also picked this off the shelf. A Bloody Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. What is supposed to be like the most devastatingly sad book ever written. And massive. 700 pages. You're such a butt face. I'll show you the other book he's picked in a second. So yeah, that's one option. Then the one that he's just replaced bitter with is The Eighth Life. So we have A Little Life and The Eighth Life, which both will take a lifetime to read. By Nino, Haratischvili. This is translated from I can't remember which language. I think Haratischvili is a Georgian author. Anyway, it might tell me here.
Get on with the video.
I'm going to edit this bit out. Okay, and this is about a family of chocolatiers. One of Charlie Brooks' favourite books, actually, but not from last year, so I can't use it for that. And yeah, it's supposed to be like devastating and awesome and just all of the things. So, what a butt face. But luckily, the other one he chose was Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, which is a graphic novel. I picked a bit of a bad page to show you there. This one. So I don't know too much about this. 60 seconds, 7 floors, 3 rules, 1 gun. Okay, so I think this is one where they go down in an elevator and the main character is going to possibly kill someone, and then on every floor something happens that maybe changes his mind by the time he gets to the bottom. I'm not sure. Something along those lines. But it's supposed to be very, very good. I think it did win some awards that doesn't say on the cover. So I will just go and see which of these Charlie picks, and I will come back to you. Right, which one? Which one?
That one.
Are you sure? Not that one on the end. Thanks, mate. So my kids have properly stitched me up, haven't they? Brilliant. We'll see how we go. I do really want to read this, but I wasn't planning on reading it in January. How many pages is this? It's like 930 pages. It's unlikely, but we'll give it a whirl. Okay. Yellow. Let's pick a yellow one. Okay, so specific book, and I've picked This Tender Land by William Kent Kruger, which I've heard is amazing. So I'm really delighted to pick this out. This was on my Booktuber TBR last year, so it's now sort of redundant, but I still really want to read this, so excited for that. And then what colour haven't I got? I haven't got a green. So, okay, and this is a middle grade book. So, okay, so for middle grade, I started reading this, Skandar and the Phantom Rider, which is the second in the Skandar and the Unicorn series. I think that's what it's called. I started reading this with Sam this time last year. We made it to page 160 and it's just been sat here since then. So I am going to put this back on my TBR. I'm going to start it from the beginning and read the whole thing through, because I know the third one is coming out in February or March time, so I would really like to get this read. And Sam's abandoned me. He's now got to that age, when he doesn't really want to be read to at night. He listens to audiobooks on his own in his room because he's a grumpy little stink rat. So yes, I'm going to read this all on my Jack Janes and I'm going to love it. Okay, so apart from those buddy reads, what am I buddy reading? So I have three buddy reads. The first of which is To Ride Hell's Chasm by Janny Wurtz, which is a standalone fantasy novel. Janny Wurtz is apparently quite a big fantasy author, or was back in sort of the 90s, but I had never heard of her before, and I'm reading this with Dia from Novel Idea, who suggested this author, so I'm very excited. Jack from Spread Book Joy, and Sandy from Reads a Lot. So we have like a little fantasy group. We haven't had the best of luck, but we did have one good one last year, and we're going to try some Janny Wurtz in January, so I will let you know how I get on with that. I actually don't know anything about this apart from that it's a fantasy standalone. I know that Janny Wurtz has like a long series as well, so I shall report back at the end of January, or beginning of February probably, on what that's like. And then another read with Sandy from Us Reads a Lot. We're in a sci-fi group as well, this time with Sarah from Freshly Read Books and Fraser from Fraser Simon Springboard Thought, and we are reading the Expanse series by James S. A. Corey, and in January we'll be picking up the third in the series, Abaddon's Gate, and I am really enjoying this sort of deep space political stuff, following a crew. It's really, really great, multiple perspective, so yeah, looking forward to getting into that one. And then I am also starting the buddy read, which I've talked about several times now, with Alice from the Giant Bookshelf, of Ulysses by James Joyce. This is going to be a really long buddy read, because we're going to read, it's breaking it down into 18 episodes, sort of. It is for academic people, but it's not actually broken down in the book. Each section is like named after like a Greek person or activity, but in people's minds, not in the book, right? Crazy. It's just crazy stuff. So we will be starting that in January, but we're reading one episode a month, so not one episode a week, so it's going to take us like 6-7 months to read, so bear with me. But yeah, we're gonna attempt Joyce. Book clubs. So the only book club that I am partaking in January/February is my own, which is the FOMO Book Club. Details are all below if you're interested, including the video that will tell you about the rest of the books for the year. And this month's pick, well, January and February's picks, we read one book over 2 months, is Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. This will be my first foray into Sarah Waters' writing. I can't actually remember what this one is about, but if you check out the video where I talk about the books that we picked, I talked about it there, but that was a few months ago, and now my brain can't remember things like that. So, yes. I hear it gets a bit steamy in places, which isn't usually my jam, but we'll give it a whirl. Then the only other book to add to the TBR is my hot or not pick. So it was super close this month. So I picked 2 books, put a poll up on my community tab, and for ages one of them was winning, the name of which escapes me because I didn't write that one down. But then Orbital pipped it to the punch. I'll put the percentages here. And so I will be reading Orbital by Samantha Harvey, which is a sort of look at human interactions through the eyes of 6 characters who are sent on sort of a final mission into space, and they're just orbiting the Earth, and they're like communicating with each other and people on Earth. And yeah, I don't know the background of it, but I do think it's one of those books that's about connections to other people, and yeah, it sounds really interesting, and I keep seeing the cover everywhere, so now I really want to read it. So I think that is it. Let me know what is on your TBRs. I would love to know. And I will leave my past and future readathon TBR here in case you missed that. And I'll catch you all very soon with another one. Bye, guys.